Hey YouTube, coming at you with a Beyond the Hype for Doublade. So if you don't have the XLs for Slash, you can run Doublade. I've seen a few of these already, and I used one in this team. So we're going to go over its strengths, its weaknesses, what I thought about it, and go from there. So number 30 ranked Pokemon on PvPoke, Steel Ghost typing. That typing gives you a crazy amount of resistances, but also 4 weaknesses. Dark, Fire, Ghost, Ground weakness. Ghost has been meta for a while. Dark got buffed this season. Fire got a few Pokemon like Blaziken got buffed. Ground has been meta forever. So 4 weaknesses, very meta. On the other end, you have 12 resistances. Triple resisting normal, triple resisting poison, double resisting bug, and then single resisting dragon, fairy, flying, grass, ice, psychic, rock, steel, and fighting. So obviously, basically every other typing, more or less, you resist. So tons of resistances. That's huge. Stats, 122 attack, so sort of middle-ish attack, 140 defense, and 106 stamina. So this is where I feel like I felt that 106 more than the 140, and I know people say it's that doesn't make sense because it's a product of these two. Your trait is that you are defensive, right? Resists attack from a wide that's not what the PvPoke defensive means. Defensive means you resist attacks from a wide variety of types, which is where all your resistances come in. What I found was this thing was weirdly not glassy, but I was always surprised with how much the charge moves did. I was in an Azumarill matchup, and between the bubbles and the play rough took me to like 50%, and then the bubbles took me like to almost the red. It was like very weird the amount of damage this thing took. So that kind of caught me off guard. Let me know if you have similar experiences with using it or going against it. In terms of move, it has Shadow Claw. You get same type of attack bonus on Shadow Claw, so when you do that, it's a very nice 3.6 and 4. Sacred Sword on this Pokemon, so gives you the coverage for steals, where Gyro Ball, I said Gyro and someone made fun of me, so I think it's Gyro Ball, does 9. Non-stab Sacred Sword, 35 for 60, not overpowering, gives you an okay, it's a coverage and bait spam move. Gyro Ball is okay, 50 for 96. At least Shadow Claw spam's pretty quick, so 14 and 12 is not terrible for 96. I always say 100 at like the 8 to 12 range is good, so I guess I can't complain too much if it's 96 for 12 3 of the times. So I feel like I went Sacred Sword most of the time. I ran it with Feraligatr and Guzzlord because I basically tried to cover those weaknesses, right? You have 4 weaknesses, Dark, Fire, Ghost, and Ground. I covered the Dark, Ghost, and Fire weakness with Guzzlord as a Dark Dragon, and then I covered the Ground weakness with Water and Feraligatr. I think I said use Azumarill on my teams, but I didn't. I just used Azumarill on my Blaziken team, so I didn't want to use it again. So I'm like, oh, Feraligatr is a safe swap. Not considering that Feraligatr and Doublade both have Shadow Claw. So when you went against normal Pokemon and when you went against dark Pokemon, it became a little trickier with these two Pokemon. So I don't know if I'd run it again with Feraligatr, but overall, just kind of cover those weaknesses. Okay, so Medi, good lead. Out comes the Azumarill, and this is what I'm talking about, right? My Vs are decent on this. They're 0, 12, and 11. So it's not even like I'm running with like a 15 attack, terrible stamina and defense. So I get the move off. You can see the bubbles are already starting to chip. I'm like, this is a resisted move. I'm fine. It's actually a resisted Ice Beam, which is even worse because it's non-stab and the worst move. And that took me to the yellow. And now these bubbles are taking me to almost the red. So I do take it out, but I was one fast move away from being in the red here. So right off the bat, first matchup I had with it, that was my experience. I'm just like, why is Azumarill, a defensive Pokemon, with resisted non-stab Ice Beam and Bubble taking me to the red? So right off the bat, that was one thing that stood out. you know, I figured I could just run with a for alligator in this matchup because I could just go Shadow Claw super effective. Hydro Cannon's going to one shot. And I think I would outpace. It looks like it's counter here. Some use counter, some use Psycho Cut. Psycho Cut is much faster charging, but obviously no damage. Counter is a lot of damage, but slower charging. So getting to the second Hydro Cannon here. This will take out or grab that second shield. It does grab that second shield. May shield back here. Yeah. Need to potentially worry about a catch too, but I do not want them to get off a third move here. So yeah, throwing right away to take this out. May instant swap into Guzzlord to get off that brutal swing on the Stunfisk. So they still have enough health left to live this brutal swing. They're going to have to throw a Rock Slide pretty quick though, because they are pretty low. And with that, they are within Shadow Claw range. So I will win that. So a little closer than I would have liked it to be. But yeah. Raichu is half Psychic, so the Shadow Claws are super effective. So I think they kind of maybe realized that too slow or just wanted to get like a wild charge off or whatever. Again, those Volt Switches really adding up. So shielding up a Thunder Punch, out comes a Clodsire. Could have went in for Alligator right away, but I am a Steel. So I think I was like, why don't I just stay in this and take the resisted poisons and then force them to throw the Earthquake while chipping an insane amount here. So that was the sort of thought process. Do I then shield, assuming they're going to Earthquake? No, I just let it go. Do let it go. Coming for Alligator, where it can hopefully just farm down. They do get to move. I'd be surprised if I shield it. Yeah, it's just a Sludge Bomb, but Shadow for Alligator, that takes me pretty low. Get into the Guzzlord where Electric is resisted because I'm Dragon. Do farm down here. You know, I'm getting pretty low, so I'm probably going to have to shield up the next move no matter what. And it is a Blastoise. I don't know why I threw Sludge Bomb. I know Sludge Bomb is actually more damage. I don't think you need to throw Sludge Bomb in that matchup. I think you could just go straight Dragon Tail Brutal Swing. So I have no idea why I threw Sludge Bomb there. Do shield. I'm low and the Feraligator's low, so I have to just kind of burn the shield. They do go straight Skull Bash, which is good because that was like sort of prime bait category. Looks like we CMP on this one here. They have to shield because they are super low. They do shield. If it's a Hydro, maybe I live, maybe not though. Hydro is a hard-hitting move, and Guzzlord takes a crazy amount of damage. But I had banked a Hydro and a half earlier, so they do catch on the Clodsire. But one more Claw, getting to the next Hydro to take it out for the win here. Golurk, one. I should have gotten out, but it was one where I knew I was doing super effective against them and they were doing super effective against me. And I would advise to get out of the matchup always in the future because I have Shadow Claw and a Guzzlord that resists the Astonish. But I think in the moment it was my, if you've been around on this channel for a while, you know when I do these Beyond the Hypes, especially early in the season, even early in the seasons when I want to hit Legend, I'm willing to give up a couple wins to figure out how well or poor these Pokemon play. So I will stay in bad matchups. I will throw moves when I should otherwise bank moves because I want to see how much damage this Pokemon can take. I want to see how much damage this Pokemon can do. So it's not always the most optimal moves, but it's a move that gives me the most information that I need to figure out how strong or weak it is. So with this Pokemon, spammy enough with these Sacred Swords. So getting off the first one here, likely to, 100% grabbing the shield. I don't know why I didn't throw Shadow Claw. I think I was worried that like if I didn't push it right away and like we desynced, I wouldn't have got the move off, but I do take it out for the win. Morpeko, 5'4", outpaces the straight 5s of Aura Wheel. So I know that. They do go straight Aura Wheel, which means I know I'm going to outpace to the second move. So I would take this in the 1 shield. But as you're going to see here, they're going to just double shield. So I go back-to-back Sacred Sword here. I can't go one more because then we'd CMP and they'd win CMP. And then I think I try and catch the resisted Aura Wheel on Guzzlord, knowing that they're at the move and they're probably just going to throw immediately. So do that, successfully catch on Guzzlord, resisted Aura Wheel. They've already boosted the Aura Wheel and it's a Morpeko, so it still does over 50%. In the back is a Gyarados, so just wanting to chip here. And then I need to make a decision with who I'm going to take this on, considering Doublade. Oh, they threw. Crazy. Considering Doublade is weak to Dark, my guess is that I'm coming with Feraligatr. And because a bait here would be dumb, I assume this is just going to be the crunch and that it's worth shielding. So do shield, do get the farm down, have energy. They're probably not going to come Morpeko because that would just be an instant one-shot. And they do not. Gorgeist is in the back. It has Incinerate. So probably should have gone one more Claw, but do one-shot it and have enough energy to get this Hydro off to take out what is left of Morpeko. So that will take it out here. Altaria. So Dragon Breath is resisted. I know they have Flamethrower, which will be super effective. But again, two things. One, the Dragon Breath damage adding up a ton there. Two, should I be staying in, taking those super effective mud shots and throwing a non-stab Sacred Sword? No. Am I doing it because I want to see what it's like? Yes. So in doing so, put myself in a terrible situation here where I need to now shield up the next Mud Bomb and then just give the Altaria the advantage back. So again, don't worry too much about how I'm playing early on. It's just kind of what I do. And again, it does not matter this season. Even if I needed to win these games to hit Legends in previous seasons, rank 20 is all you need this season, right? So no rush. I mean, not a rush. No worries if I lose games here or there. Plus, I think I went like 22 or 23 and 30 day one. So like 20, I think it was 23 and 7 my first day here. You could hit Legend pretty early. Unfortunately, another Bastiodon. Not surprising. I mean, am I surprised I'm seeing it so much early in this season? Maybe. Am I surprised I'm seeing a lot of Bastiodons? No. I said with more ice and potentially less ground, you will see a lot more Bastiodons. So this Doublade would be okay, but again, as you're going to see here, I'm a little surprised at how much damage this thing takes. These are resisted smackdowns from a Bastiodon that is putting enough fast move pressure that I could theoretically be taken out in like 3 or 4 more. I think they're going to throw a move because I'm going to just outpace them. So they have to throw. But to take me to the deep red is still shocking to me. So yeah, I think that's going to be my main takeaway with this Pokemon. Did someone put this team out? Because I ran to this team back to back. Shadow T-Tar with Dragon Breath means it gets to the Brutal Swings very quick. And Brutal Swing is super effective. And do I want to take a super effective Brutal Swing from a very attack heavy Shadow T-Tar on a Pokemon that I'm already very unimpressed with its defense and an ability to take charge moves? No. So I double shield here. Eventually, knowing I'm going to get outpaced to the third move, I make a catch on the Guzzlord here. And I'm pretty sure I play this matchup out pretty much the same both times. 1 win, 1 loss. So T-Tar lands that. It stays in. Dragon Breath is super effective, so I have to throw this pretty quick just to get hit with a Wigglytuff. And because of that, I'm not going to get to any charge moves. Come back in with my Steel Pokemon. Steel resisting everything. Have the Gyro Ball. Super effective. Not enough to take out. Wiggly is tanky. That's fine. Resisted Charms adding up. I think they throw Swift, which is like triple resisted here. No, they throw Icy Wind. So single resisted takes me to the yellow. That actually takes me to the red. And now I have Celio, which has resisted fast moves, but neutral charge moves and Body Slam. Versus my neutral Shadow Claw, but resisted Hydro Cannons. Problem is the pacing. Body Slam is just going to outpace these Hydros. So they're going to get to a second Body Slam before I get to the move here. May not be enough to take me out because Body Slam's a pretty bad move. And it's not. So I get to another Hydro. And then try to come in here to get to a move and then get Resisted Charm down. Because Claw's resisted. And then resist it. And then can't take it out. So, truly back-to-back. And I play it out pretty much the same way. We take it to the 0 shields. And then I make a catch on a Guzzlord. The difference between what happens in this matchup and what happened in the previous matchup is they don't stay in with their T-Tar. They go immediately into their Wigglytuff. And what that allows me to do coming up here is get to a Sludge Bomb, which is super effective. So here comes the second Sacred Sword. This will grab a shield. I will make the catch on the Guzzlord. And now, because they instant swap, I'm able to get to a charge move to chip this, even though these are double super effective charms, live with 1 HP to get to the Sludge Bomb. I do have a Sacred Sword already, so I could just come in and snipe. Is this the one that throws Swift? Yeah, so I just go Sacred Sword. It's neutral on the super effective on the normal, resisted on the fairy. I thought it would be enough. Not enough. Shadow Claw is double resisted on the normal, so I can't even fast move down. But they throw a triple resisted Swift, which that's not going to do anything. Allowing me to get to a Sacred Sword here to take out the T-Tar. And again in the back is a Celio, but Powder Snow is resisted. I can get to a super effective Sacred Sword, put it low enough to put it in Hydro Cannon range. So shocking to see a team back-to-back already. Usually you wait for content creators to put out teams, but I'm guessing either a content creator put this out as like a top team, or it's one of the infographics or something of top teams. Because to see that team back-to-back day one, and I did these battles at like 4 or 5 o'clock, so kind of shocking to see that. Sandslash is double weak to fighting. I know I'm just going to outpace, so I'm definitely fine staying in this matchup. So I'm staying in this matchup. They instant swap to Stunfisk. Basically, you're seeing me go through my thought process of like, what do I do here? And then decide to chip and then come Guzzlord. I could have come Guzzlord quicker where Thundershock's resisted. My only concern is like, Brutal Swing's not amazing. And Mud Bomb's like a okay-ish move. So 3 Mud Bombs would take me out. Whereas I didn't know if 3 Brutal Swings would take it out from full health. So I thought maybe Chip would be better. So get to the next Brutal Swing. I'm going to have to throw one more. And I'm going to have to throw pretty quick for it to work here. And because of that, I'm not going to get farmed down here with an ice Pokemon. I have a water Pokemon and I have a steel Pokemon. Might as well leverage that. Don't want to take a draw run here, so coming pretty quick. They do end up shielding. I end up shielding. They end up baiting. So I'm going to take this out. And what's in the back? 2 cannon. So going to get to the first Hydro. And they let go, which, again, I don't know if this is going to come out. I'm letting you guys decide which is coming out first, the 2 cannon or this one. Don't let a 2 cannon take any charge moves. It's the same as like Blaziken from the other, like either this morning or yesterday morning. Don't let a glassy Pokemon take charge moves. You need to use the shields. Oranguru. Confusion, resisted on the steel, but Brutal Swing super effective. And that does well over 50%, not surprising. Tried to make a catch here on Guzzlord, and I do make a catch, catching that resisted Brutal Swing. Just to get hit with a Wigglytuff. Yeah, so I mean, like, should Guzzlord be... I'm using Guzzlord as like a sponge to catch these charge moves. Should I... Wigglytuff is going to be everywhere. It's just strong, and there's potentially more Ghost that got buffed and Dark Witch got buffed, and Wiggly deals with both of those very well. So I don't think it's a good idea. And what also is not a good idea is leaving a Glacier Pokemon against a fast move damage Pokemon. I just mentioned this in my Blaziken video. You cannot leave 2 shields on a Pokemon when you have the potential to be fast moved down, and these 2 shields are essentially useless. They didn't even try to go with Trailblaze just to boost their attack. They don't even need to. They basically just can confusion me down. So do not like how I played this out. Probably would not do that again. I think we have one more battle here, which is good because I'm running low on battery here. And then, yeah, we'll wrap it up. That's enough shooting for tonight. I'll shoot the rest tomorrow. Oof. I hate Tuesdays. In the office, league turnover at 4, season turnover at that. Got to shoot so many videos late. Gengar. Ghost, weak to Ghost. I'm Ghost, weak to Ghost. They are very glassy, so I figured just shield and farm and come out with energy and switch, but down shields. And they have a Haunter in the back, so I'm like, okay, this team is whack. Fun, but whack. So now I get the Guzzlord on it, which is a dark, and they eventually come in Medi, but now I have a Shadow Claw Medi, or Shadow Claw for Alligator. They are running Psycho Cut, so that's why they're throwing so fast. This one's a Psycho Cut. Dynamic Punch will come very quick, but the Ice Punch does not come that much quicker. I think it's like maybe 1 faster. So I can still just go double Hydro. They do let it go, and then have to throw a move. But at this point, I just take the extra Dragon Tail, and then I'll have a bunch of Brutal Swings. Are only 3 Dragon Tails to get to, so the pacing is just incredible on this move. And when you're against a super glassy Haunter that has resisted Ghost moves, you are in a pretty good spot. So yeah, Doublade is a good Pokemon. You know what? Here's the strength and weaknesses. I think it's got a lot of main meta weaknesses: Ghost, Dark, Ground. I think that I'm surprised with how much damage it takes. I like the pacing of the moves, like having the Secret Sword coming at 10 and 8, and Gyro Ball at 14 and 12. I don't think these moves are overpowered by any means, but I think that Stab Shadow Claw helps. And again, I think just even though you have those 4 meta weaknesses, having 12 resistances is always fantastic and is going to help you in the meta. So that's why I think Edgy Slash and Doublade are ranked so high, not only because of their like move sets, but because their typings alone gives them a huge advantage, which is why Corviknight and earlier Skarmory were always so meta, just because that steel typing is such a huge advantage. And Polion now, Steelix, stuff like that, right? So one worth building up. Yes. Do you need to build it up this season? No. Like, will I want to bring this, if I play the Toronto Regionals, will I bring this Toronto Regional? No, probably not. Like, I don't think it needs to be built up in this moment. Do I think it has play? Yes. Do I think if you use it, you're going to do okay with it? Yep. Do you need to build it up when you only need to get to rank 20? No, you can save your dust this season. If you want to use it, go for it. You won't hate the investment. I just don't think you're going to love the investment. But let me know your thoughts if you use it. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.